Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Jai Shri Ram. Welcome to our next episode in our complete reading of Srimad Valmiki Ramayana. In the last episode, we saw that SriRamachandra informed Kaikeyi that he would accept the Vanavasa with happiness and he would leave the city immediately. He also says one thing. He says that he would go to his mother Kausalya and to his wife Sita, inform them, and then he would leave to Dandakaranya. And he also says that Bharata should come to the kingdom and he should rule the kingdom and he should also serve the father the way Sri Ramachandra did. Saying this, Sri Ramachandra does a Sastanga Pranama, Dandavat Pranama in Hindi, and then from there he moves out. He also does a Pranama to all the great Sambharas that were brought for the Pattabhisheka, and from there he, along with Lakshmana, they both come out. And many women who are there in Kaikeyi's chambers, they all start crying as they see that Sri Ramachandra is walking out. Sri Ramachandra is walking out accompanied by Lakshmana, and all these women are saying, Ayo, this Sri Ramachandra, he was always there with us. He served us like his mother. He never differentiated between any one of us. But look at the problem today. Sri Ramachandra is being forced to leave because of the greed of one woman. Saying this, they'll start weeping. They start missing Sri Ramachandra already. But among all this, one person who is unnerved or who is standing like a rock there is Kaikeyi. Sri Ramachandra now walks out and he quickly moves to Kausalya Mata's chambers. And in that palace, Kausalya Mata was in the inner rooms and she was doing a yajna. So all the outer kakshyas or all the outer prakaras were filled by old women who were servants and who were sometimes advisors or who were running the household of Kausalya. There were a lot of people there and none of them knew the news till now. So everyone was looking at Sri Ramachandra and everyone was happy. Everyone was happy because finally Kausalya Mata is going to be happy. Now why am I saying that finally Kausalya Mata is going to be happy? We'll see. We'll get to know that in a few minutes. Now Sri Ramachandra is greeted by all of them. He greets all of them. He does a namaskara to most of them. And from there, he actually moves in. And in the inner chambers, Kausalya Ma, she is wearing a white silk saree and she is radiating with happiness. And the very presence of her is showing authority. The very presence of her is showing happiness. And she was getting a havan done, a yajna done for the well-being of Sri Ramachandra. So Sri Ramachandra stood at a distance, watched all that, and once that was complete, he slowly approached her. Kausalya Mata was overjoyed by the presence of Sri Ramachandra and she quickly asked him to take an asana and sit. And she also said, Hey Sri Ramachandra, your father is a man of truth. He will not forsake truth under any circumstances. Since he has given his word that he is going to make you the Yuvaraja today and you will eventually become Maharaja. So Sri Ramachandra, I am overjoyed today and ecstatic today. Why are you looking like this? Oh Sri Ramachandra, sit on that asana, which essentially means that Sri Ramachandra did not sit on any of the chairs or any of the asanas which are like Simhasana. They're huge seats in which royals sit, or the thrones, or a mini version of the thrones on which these royals sit. Sri Ramachandra did not touch any of those chairs there. He was still standing. And when Kausalya Mata said, Sri Ramachandra, sit on the asana, Sri Ramachandra goes to the asana, touches it, and then says, Mata, I am not supposed to sit on these asanas. Kausalya, in her motherly happiness, she says, sit on it. I'll serve you lunch. Have food and go. See, mother, right? Mother always wants kids to be eating more and more and more. That's their version of love, or one of their important versions of love is feeding their children. Then Sri Ramachandra says, I am not supposed to touch the lunch or this asana, Mata, because there is a huge trouble that is there at our doorstep now. Kausalya Mata is shocked and she asked, what is it? Sri Ramachandra says, Mata, Kaikeyi has asked for 2 boons and Dasharatha Maharaja, my father, has asked Bharata to be the king and he asked me to go to the forests for 14 years. Again, remember the Navapanchacha logic that we saw in the previous episodes. The moment she heard this, Kausalya Mata collapsed onto the ground. And the moment she collapsed onto the ground, Sri Ramachandra ran to her, helped her, and brought her up and said, Mata, what has happened? What is wrong with you? Now Kausalya Ma has become unconsolable. She started weeping, and she started weeping to an extent where nobody was able to stop her. She started saying, why am I living this life, Sri Rama? I got married to Dasharatha, but I was treated almost as equivalent to Kaikeyi's dasis. I never had the power or the authority that a queen normally has, because all of that was there always with Kaikeyi. I was always relegated to a back position. For a lot of years, Sri Ramachandra, I did not have children, and now I am worried, why did I have children? Because if I did not have children, people would have said that she is barren, she does not have children, she was not able to produce a child. But now I have got a child, and that child is giving me sadness. Your father, who did not treat me so well, who did not treat me on par with Kaikeyi, is not treating me on par even today. I thought there will be a moment where you would be the king, and I would be very happy for you, that because you are going to be the king. But I have waited for it for 17 years, Sri Ramachandra. 17 years since your Upanayana, I have been waiting for this moment. And today, that's also not happening. Oh Sri Rama, I did so many vratas, I did so many pujas, I did everything in my capacity to please the gods, to make sure that you will inherit the kingdom. And oh Sri Ramachandra, see what has happened today. You are not being the king. Remember, the logic that is working still in Kausalya Mata's mind probably is that Sri Ramachandra was ordered for 14 years to go away, and if he is going back for 14 years, all the claims on the kingdom would be lost. That might be one of the things that might be running. And I am saying this is not written in any book. This is my interpretation. I believe this was running in her mind, and the weeping has gone to the next level where she says, "Why will I live here, Sri Rama? All these years, you were almost the crown prince. Everybody knew you might succeed. Official anointment was not there. And today, if you are leaving, what would be my status in this entire building? Dasharatha Maharaja loved you a lot. And if he is sending you away to the forest, how am I going to survive? Oh Sri Rama, I just cannot stay here. Kindly take me also with you. The way if a small calf is running into the wild, the mother cow, she can't stay back. She'll also run behind that calf. She'll also try to protect that calf. Oh Sri Ramachandra, if you are leaving to forest, there is no point that I should be staying here. I shall be leaving along with you. Let us go to the forest together." This is what Kausalya Mata says, and she breaks down. Now when she breaks down, Sri Ramachandra was stoic. He's still silent. He's still able to handle his emotions. He's still standing there. Just imagine the situation. Your mother is breaking down in front of you, and you still have it in you to stand there, and you are the strongest man in the room at that particular point of time. Just look at how Lakshmana behaves here. That's why they say Ramayana is a great Manastattva Shastra. Manastattva actually means psychology. Ramayana teaches about people and their emotions, and how do you handle, how do you stand as a stoic person. Now Lakshmana, he was not able to see tears in the eyes of Kausalya Mata. He is already seething with anger that Sri Ramachandra is not given his due. He is angry that the kingdom is being taken away from him, and now the volcano finally bursted. Lakshmana immediately puts his hand up and says, "Mata Kausalya, I can't see you suffering. And why is the father behaving like this? How can this mighty emperor, the father of mine, fall in the trap of one woman and wash his hands away from the kingdom? How can he, this one man, change his decision just because a woman has asked him to do it? Is this his second childhood? What sin did Sri Ramachandra commit to be sent to Vanavasa? Do you remember there was one person who was sent to the woods before Sri Ramachandra in Ikshvaku Vamsa? Do you remember that? I hope you remember that. That's Asamanjasa, who was Sagara's son. People who have heard that episode near Gangavatarana would remember that Asamanjasa was sent away by Sagara Chakravarti. Sagara Chakravarti sent his own son he banished him from the kingdom for life, because Sagara Chakravarti's son Asamanjasa used to take small kids and he used to put them in the Sarayu river and drown them and take enjoyment out of it. Now, our Lakshmana, he is so angry, and he is now saying, what mistake did my brother do that he is being banished into the woods? And now he is looking at Sri Ramachandra and saying, "Hey Sri Ramachandra, I will stand behind you. Let us see which army can come and conquer us. Forget they touching you. If they come in front of me, I am going to kill every supporter of Bharata in this one day, and I am going to make you the king. So for this one time, don't stop me. I am going to show what I am. And Kausalya Mata, you also, no one should come in the way of mine, and we'll show what we can do to Ayodhya." And he's also saying, if the king has grown too old, and if the king is not able to make a proper judgment, why should we tolerate it? So Lakshmana is very very angry. Again, SriRamachandra is still maintaining his composure. Now Kausalya Mata took over. She says, hey SriRamachandra, okay, if your father has ordered you to go, you need my permission also. Your father's orders are not that correct today. I am not giving you permission. You can't go to woods till I give you permission. Your father might be your guru, but I am your mother. You need my permission also to set your foot out of the palace. So you are not going anywhere. This is the point of time when Sri Ramachandra thought he should intervene, because Lakshmana is angry and he is also not speaking anything now. He's angry, and sometimes the anger takes over us so much that words fail us. Lakshmana is in that state. Kausalyama, she is overtaken by grief and anger both at the same time. She is in a different state. Now Sri Ramachandra decides to talk, and what he talks we'll see in the next episode. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaah, sarve bhadrani pasyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Sarvam Sukhi Sai Samaraswam Charanarvinda Arpanamastu. Swasti.